here at the Mello Center with Coach Hop. And Coach, let's go back to that Florida State game. I mean, first of all, anytime fans are on the floor after the game, you know something special was accomplished in that court.
Yeah, we, a couple weeks ago, you didn't know where we were going to go, and we just kept working hard and came up with 2 great home victories. And the Florida State game was one of those games that wasn't perfect. You were striving for it. It's not perfect, but the guys gutted it out. They found ways to make plays. John Gillen was terrific at the end of the game, and to see the fans excited. It's still Syracuse. The storm of the court. We're Syracuse. We're one of the great program. But the excitement of where we were and to be a top 10 team, it was very happy for the guys.
Yeah, and that's just it too. You mentioned, certainly Syracuse. There's been many more bigger wins than Florida State, but it was kind of a collective in the community. All right, this is a good win, and this is the start of something. You guys feel that's the same thing with you as well?
No question. And it was just like we wanted to get out of there. I kept watching Coach Hamilton look at Coach Boeheim, and we were like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. Right.
It's like, listen, I'm going in. I'm like, what, are you sick or you don't want to shake it? You know what it was? And then you look behind and you saw a wave, a sea of people really excited. And, the fans in that game, I mean, we've got the best fans in the country. And, we had to get those defensive stops, to see them all excited and going for us. I mean, that really gives us a boost of adrenaline. So for them to have that moment and the students to have that moment was really special.
So we've got to address this, though. Okay. Your Friday night fortune. Yeah. Take us through this story. And are you now going to be at P.F. Chang's?
I was at P.F. Chang's and we were going, and it was the end, and we opened up a fortune cookie, and tomorrow is a good day. You gotta have it. And I'm like, I'm gonna treat this thing out.
Absolutely.
And so, I'm a believer in fortune cookies now, and I'm a P.F. Chang. I've always liked P.F. Chang's,
sure.
But for P.F. Chang's, the fortune cookie, it was just the double bonus.
It is. When you guys were in San Jose for the NCAA tournament a few years ago, my wife's like, "Oh, did you try something new?" I had P.F. Chang's, yeah. Right? I mean, you got to try it, right?
Yeah, you got to have P.F. Chang's. Mongolian beef was incredible, and then the pot stickers are really good too.
Awesome. I love it, Coach. And now the big question is, obviously, Virginia coming to town Saturday. Does this become a routine before that?
I think it's going to have to be. I got to get my fortune cookie, but if it says something negative, I might have to throw it away. It's over. It's over. I got to keep with tradition.
We got to put the reservation in now, I guess. Lastly, we'll talk about Virginia here. I mean, we say anymore. It's a rematch of that Elite Eight game, and we know they're always tough.
Yeah, they're one of the best defensive teams in the country, and it's a team that we've had problems with. And obviously, we had one of the great wins of Syracuse basketball to get to the Final Four against a top team, and that press at the end was just incredible. I've never been a part of something like that. That was one of the truly the great games I've ever been a part of, and it's a great test. And it's another game in the ACC. It's one of these top teams that's going in and ranked, but it also gives us a great opportunity. And with the fans that we had at every home game this year, it will give us a huge boost. So I hope they come out and support us, and we can go out there and play well and get a win.
I always remember, Coach, the night before the game when we get to talk to you guys after practice and whatnot. All the Virginia media was already on their media shuttle. They were booking their tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, what room did you get? Oh, what flight to Houston did you get? And I sat there quiet.
Yeah.
I was quietly optimistic, and it worked out, right?
Yeah, and I remember even at halftime, and Coach was like, "Listen, this is where we're at. We got to get there. We're gonna think about our press. Just be ready to do it." And the timing was right. The call was right. We went out there. We pressed. We made the plays we had to make, and made believers of everybody. And Virginia, especially in that situation, they never lose. And right. So it was just one of those special moments. And our team's getting better. Obviously we still have a long way to go. And Virginia's a great team. We respect them, and they're a great defensive team. And but we understand that if we play great defense like we have at home games, that we have a great opportunity to beat anybody we play.
Sounds great, Coach, and believers around Central New York now as well. Thank you so much.